Okay, I'm now ranking all 11 Star Wars movies. And now I know some people must be saying, oh, there are not 11 Star Wars movies, there are like 15. But I'm only doing the 11 live action theatrically released ones. I'm not doing any of the holiday special, the Ewoks movie, because those weren't really released in theaters, at least not in the US. I'm not doing the Clone Wars movie because that was basically just like 3 episodes of the show tied together, so it's not really like a movie in that case. It's better to be watched when you're watching the show. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about the 11 Star Wars movies, so the 9 main films plus the 2 Disney anthology films. Let's get into this. So, last place is Attack of the Clones. Now, I enjoy every movie on this list, but this one is just mostly it's just ironic enjoyment. Well, there is a lot of fun stuff, like for example, I love Obi-Wan in this movie and his plotline to find the clones. A lot of the action near the end is great, like really great action near the end, especially the arena. That was so much fun scene. And then another great thing that just goes with the prequels is it's cool kind of seeing the Jedi at the height of their power. Just like something that you couldn't even imagine seeing back in the 1980s is just like 100 Jedi all wielding their lightsabers fighting robots. That happens in this movie, and it's extremely cool. And it's just, there are a lot of fun scenes, and there's some moments that I just love, like the scene where Anakin's riding across Tatooine on his speeder trying to find his mother, and then John Williams' score is absolutely amazing. So a lot of fun things in this movie, but some of it's just abysmal. Yoda absolutely stinks in the prequels. I mean, some of his fighting's cool, but like his dialogue is just like, we don't want to see Yoda literally ordering troops to attack people. That's not Yoda. And then some of the Jedi, like Mace Windu, he's fun in the show. He's cool in some action, but then just a jerk in these movies, Mace Windu. And, you know, Anakin and Padme, their romance is abysmal. There's no chemistry. And the writing, I honestly wonder if George Lucas has ever flirted with someone in his life. Like, seriously, who flirts by saying, oh, I hate sand, it's coarse and rough and irritating. Not like you, you're soft and smooth. That's just horrible writing, and it's fun to listen to ironically. Like, I imagine seeing this in the theaters for the first time, like, expecting this big fun Star Wars movie, that would suck. And there are just so many issues with this movie. While there is fun in some other places, it overall it's okay, but there's just so much stupid things in it that I can't really give it a very positive score. Next up, I'm going to go a little quicker from here on. The Phantom Menace, I liked Qui-Gon, and I liked a lot of the action. The effects in this one, for some reason, are so much better than Attack of the Clones. I don't even know why. And, I like the pod race, Duel of the Fates, the music. But then a lot of other things are just stupid. Anakin Skywalker as a kid, I mean, Jake Lloyd did what he could do, but it's just, I don't want to see Darth Vader going, yippee! And then, like, saying, are you an angel, to some girl. It's just weird imagining that kid who's saying all these things is Darth freaking Vader. It's just strange. And then it does have extremely racial stereotypes. I accidentally activated the Millennium Falcon. It does have, like, some kind of racial stereotypes. The plot is very confusing, very unbalanced tone, because in some scenes you have Jar Jar making fart jokes, and in other scenes you have people discussing taxation and trade routes. And, you know, big unbalance. Adults don't want to see fart jokes. Kids don't want to see, you know, government meetings about taxation. So it's very unbalanced in certain regards. But of course, the action is fun. I would consider this more enjoyable than Attack of the Clones. And of course, the music is great. 6.5 out of 10. Number 9 on the list is Revenge of the Sith. Now, this one is just miles above the previous ones. It's got fun action. Ewan McGregor is amazing as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love General Grievous. That entire opening sequence of the Coruscant fight and on the ship is so much fun. There's great banter between Anakin and Obi-Wan. I feel like the romance dialogue is a little better. I love how it leads right into A New Hope. The music is amazing. The action is fun. But Anakin's downfall to Darth Vader is just completely unbelievable because he has a dream and then he wants to figure out how he can stop that dream about Padme's death from happening. And then he goes to see Chancellor Palpatine, who's basically like, oh, by the way, there's a dark side legend of how people can save people from death, and he walks away, and Anakin doesn't even suspect, maybe he's the Sith Lord about knowing all this stuff about the Sith. And then Anakin just kind of, there is one powerful moment of him in the Jedi Temple that I love, but then his turn is just so quick and kind of out of the blue that it's just unbelievable, and then it tries to go for emotional moments that just hasn't earned. Hayden Christensen, his performance here is better, but he's better when just having fun comedic moments, not when doing any serious stuff. So this movie, I really do like it, 7.5. Moving on. It is a fun movie, just not a great turn for Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. This is number 8. So, number 8 is Rogue One. Now, this is an extremely fun movie. It's got great, amazing action. I like the villains. I absolutely love Darth Vader in this scene. He's super freaking cool. The final fight in space and on the ground is amazing. One of the best battles ever showcased in film. Or just one of the best sci-fi battles ever showcased in film. And one of the best in Star Wars. The cast, my main issues here are the characters. Some of them are fun all the time. Some of them are only fun some of the time. So I do have a little bit of trouble kind of getting together with the character, kind of understanding and liking the characters, even though a lot of the time they are fun, and then other times I don't like them, and the plot is quite confusing at times. You do figure it out more by the end. So overall, it's a fun film that's just kind of bogged down by narrative. 8 out of 10. It's good. Next up is Solo. Now, I don't have a lot of gripes with Solo. Just, it's fun. That's really all there is to it. While, it's just a blast to watch. Alden Ehrenreich, Donald Glover, they do great as Han and Lando, although you can tell that sometimes Donald Glover is just doing a Billy Dee Williams impersonation. They're both amazing in the role. I love Woody Harrelson and Emilia Clarke as their characters. They're kind of a new twist on some things in Star Wars. I really do like Paul Bettany as the villain. He's fun. And then I love Han and Chewie's relationship. I love the portrayal of the Kessel Run. I think my only issue here, my main issue, is that the movie is really, dark. So many scenes you just have to squint to see. And that just really pulls me out of the experience. Overall, it's still fun, 8.5 out of 10. Next up, at number 6 on the list, is The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I'm not going to talk much about this because I just did a review, but it's really fun, and it has a lot of powerful emotional moments, but some things in the movie are just unsatisfying and bogged down by other things. But overall, it is a fun Star Wars movie, and I do love it. So, 8.5 out of 10. Next up, Star Wars The Force Awakens. That's number 5 on the list. What can I say? It's a fun movie. It brings Star Wars back to its root. It's got great actors. I love the return of Han and Leia and Chewie and the droids. And then I also love the new characters. I love Poe. I love Kylo being Ben Solo. He's a cool villain. Rey and Finn have such a great dynamic, and there are such great fun action scenes like the lightsaber fight and the Millennium Falcon chase on Jakku. My only issues here are I'm not very sure how I feel about Han Solo's death. I've got more used to it. I feel like his death just kind of just appeared and not... Han's death is kind of... It's not glossed over. It just kind of happens out of nowhere. And it's not really anything, sacrificing. It's just him dying by getting stabbed. And then also it very clearly takes a lot of beats out of A New Hope, and I'm not really sure how I like the Starkiller plot. But overall, it's still an extremely fun movie. 9 out of 10. It's great. At number 4 is Star Wars The Last Jedi. This film is amazing. I absolutely love Rian Johnson as director, even though I've only seen 2 of his films, this and Knives Out, which I did a review on. Go check it out. Please. I want more views. But, it does very daring things with Luke Skywalker and Rey and Kylo Ren. And some ways it kind of follows the beats of Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, but other ways it does new things. It kind of questions your beliefs and what you know. And it goes against what fans have been saying they want by killing people who you thought were going to be here at the big badge of the trilogy, saying, oh, you thought this person was this? Nope, she's not. And now I feel like some of these things were certainly messed up by Rise of Skywalker, but it does not ruin this film for me. And while it does struggle with some of the character arcs for Poe and Finn, who I don't think are treated that well, and sometimes Canto Bight bogs it down, some of the more daring things and some of the fight scenes are absolutely amazing, and I love this film to death. 9.5 out of 10. Very daring. At number 3 is, I know this is kind of blasphemy, but, you know. Number 3, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this film was fun. It's got the action and the romance, a great dynamic between Han and Leia, some of the best lines in cinema history, one of the best with I'm your father, I love you, I know. I love the Battle of Hoth. The asteroid scene. My only issue with this movie, I'm not getting to the issues just yet. I love Lando and Yoda and all the new characters and Boba Fett. My only real issue is sometimes it gets a little boring in moments. But overall, it's still super fun. Still one of the best films ever created. Just bogged down by boredom every once in a while. And it's not necessarily bad. It's just I think the other two movies are, better in some ways. I do think this film is actually better than Return of the Jedi. Just when it comes to enjoyment, it's a little less for me. So, yeah, perfect 10. But still a few issues. Number 2, Return of the Jedi. Now, the Luke's plan at the beginning may be a little messy. Ewoks may be blatantly there to sell toys, but this movie is fun. The Jabba's palace sequence, confusing, but fun. The Ewoks, it's made to sell toys, but fun. There's a lot of great jokes and action scenes, a fun space battle. But the one thing that really puts this movie at the top is the amazing scenes, powerful moments, including the redemption of Darth Vader. The ending, specifically the ending, I know this is, not a very popular opinion, but I do think that the special edition vastly improved Return of the Jedi. Well, it does have that stupid dance scene. I'm sorry, I hate that scene so much. Well, it does have that stupid dance scene. It changes up the music at the end of the scene and adds a few more shots to just make this amazing and calls back to the prequels with, shots of the galaxy celebrating, and it takes out the Ewok song, Yub Nub, and replaces it with John Williams' amazing celebration music that just perfectly encapsulates kind of the feeling of victory and redemption and reuniting with the heroes and the celebration across the galaxy. And sometimes I would just turn on the end of Return of the Jedi just to listen to the music and see the sights. And I absolutely love the ending of this movie, but I also love so much of the fun and the powerful moments in it. So, 10 out of 10. But number 1 is, of course, the first Star Wars by, being different. It just is a fun movie. It did things that shouldn't have worked back then. It does them amazingly. It's great world building. That's probably the best part of this film. The world building, just setting up this amazing galaxy, but not really feeling the need to kind of explain it in long, detailed sentences. Just being like, by the way, there's this empire. By the way, there's this rebellion. That's all you need to know. They're aliens and spaceships. You don't really need to explain how these things work. They're just a natural part of this universe. And the characters are all great. The performances are all fun. I love Darth Vader and Obi-Wan and Luke and Han and Leia. And I've already reviewed this film. And then, of course, the score is, I think A New Hope is, the original Star Wars, is the best scored film ever made. I personally think it might be the best film ever made. But that's just my opinion. I know I kind of rushed for these last couple movies, I'm sorry. But A New Hope, 10 out of 10, literally the best movie ever made. If you disagree, you are objectively wrong. So, yeah. That's my ranking of all the Star Wars movies. I know it was kind of messy, but, I had fun making it, fun talking about all of them. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you soon with my ranking of every movie that came out this year. Bye-bye.